So, I'm writing this script in the moment I just finished Prey 2017, and honestly, it's great, but I can't get over that name. Like, what does that name represent for this game? I mean, names don't intend to have any meaning sometimes for games, but if you think about it, it's the best thing you can get is that you are prey to the enemies in the game called Typhon. But again, it doesn't have to mean anything. I mean, I guess, but like this has just got me thinking about the original game I actually played ages ago. If we go back to 2006, this original like thing appears called Prey, and a couple years later, when I was 7 or 8 years old, around 2008 I think, I managed to own it. Now, recently with QuakeCon whatever, a sale for this version of Prey came out. Recently, I got all the DLC and stuff with it, but before I hopped in, I kind of had this yearn to want to play the original after so many years. So, luckily, I didn't have to search far to actually get a copy of it because the game was on an abandonware site, and with a patch for the installer to be able to run it, I got the game running, and holy shit!
I don't know, Jen. Stay calm. I'll get us out of here. Just give me a minute. What the fuck are those things? What the hell is this place? This is impossible.
The things I remembered in this game are even better and more gruesome than I remembered, and the things I forgot are so freaking awesome, and I think I forgot out of trauma, honestly. Yeah, that's how good this atmosphere and presentation is. Heck, I was a stupid kid, and I skipped a lot of cutscenes and dialogue like I was button mashing for a minigame, but this time I sat down and appreciated it fully for the first time, and it's freaking incredible. Look, I want to lose myself in this own incoherent tangent about one of the most underrated games of all time. Yes, even over Driver San Francisco. But I want to preface this with something. First is that I will talk about spoilers, and despite it being 10 plus years old, you have to play the original, especially with the free abandonware download, which I will link below. Seriously, if you play the game and never come back to hear me scream about its beauty, then I can live with that as long as people love this game. Also, second thing I want to mention is this game doesn't pull punches in the gore when it wants to show you something screwed up. I mean, the graphical options have a freaking option for high quality skinning. I just have to let you take it in that high quality skinning, despite for 2006, is a graphical option. So you know that you will see visually what is going to happen on the footage for this video. It may be 2006, but that doesn't mean it still doesn't visually have some disturbing images for me, even 15 plus years later from playing it. And if you are a friend of mine, you know it's practically impossible for me to be scared by any horror media, so the fact it could get a genuine reaction out of me, let alone disturb me, then you know this game is, short for better words, unsettling. Now, I played this game so much as a kid, replaying it, just subconsciously picking it up and playing it again when I got bored, that I think that equal to 6+ playthroughs, and I can't stop playing it again. Also, another thing, with the footage you see, it's on the harder difficulty called Cherokee, which is only unlocked after a first playthrough, because I'm not just going to show gameplay of me cruising through the game. That'd just be generally boring and wouldn't show everything this game has to offer in the combat. No, I want you guys to see how I feel is what Prey is. I want to be able to recreate that for you, so that if you don't play it, you get an idea on what it is. You need to kind of feel that suffering and pain, not from like poor controls or anything, but just from the presentation and what the player goes through. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't at least try this. Now let's actually get to like playing the fucking thing. By the way, just wanna say real quick, main menu music, this starts with people screaming. Yeah, everyone loves good video game themes. You know, Mario, Zelda, Doom, Duke Nukem, Prey. So you start this game with this guy bashing himself in the mirror that you find out quickly is called Tommy from someone yelling in the distance.
Can't even tell her you love her. I gotta get off this damn reservation. If she'd just come with me, it'd all be different. It'd all be... Listen to yourself. Who do you think you're kidding?
Tommy, get your ass out here.
Then quickly after this, the person he loves is giving me dialogue like I just walked into a porno studio that was connected to the bathroom.
Did you come in here for a drink? Or to dump your dirty tools on my nice, clean bar?
Sorry, babe.
That's Jen, Tommy's lover, and this absolute hunk that you can't keep your eyes off of is the big man himself, Inisi, Tommy's grandfather.
Tommy,
Inisi? What are you doing here?
I sense great change on the winds. I came to warn you.
Save it, grandfather. You know I don't go for that shit.
Listen, Tommy. You cannot turn your back on your heritage any longer. It will give you strength.
Strength? For what?
To save yourself. To survive.
Survive? What are you talking about, Inisi? Go home.
My place is here, by your side. You will have need of me this night.
Sure.
Look, I'm not trying to be racist when I say this, but this man is the definition of badass Indian. He's got the look, the talk, and later on, he's got that Chad vibe without spoiling anything right here. This man is 100% the best teacher figure in any game, and no one can change my mind. Tommy isn't connected to his heritage, unlike Inisi. I'm gonna just call him Grandpa from now on. Or Jen. Yeah, he's not connected like they are, and wants to leave the reservation to find his place in the world, but doesn't want to leave without Jen.
Land. Asking her to leave is asking her to give up a part of her soul.
But doesn't she want something better than this?
So this bar section, it's pretty long for an intro before things start going, but honestly, it's not that bad. It's got a bunch of arcade machines you can mess with. Most of them are like gambling machines. So what, you got like poker and slots, and I think blackjack. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head here. Oh yeah, and they have a jukebox, which, okay, holy fucking shit, the jukebox at the beginning of the game has Barracuda by Heart, Free Ride by the Edgar Winter Group, Judas fucking Priest, and there's just a lot of music here. Some of it shows its age from 2006, and some of it is just classics that, dude, This is for a jukebox for the intro to the game. Yeah, the intro is pretty sweet since everything is mostly interactable. Especially like also in the bathroom, the bar area. So even if it's your like 10th playthrough, it's not that bad going through it like for the 50 millionth time. So after you finish slamming your finger on the TV screen while Anthem for Tonight plays in the background and the bathroom clogs because of all the flushing you were doing, these two assholes sitting at the bar that probably honestly have names, but I'm gonna just call them Biker Guy and Friend of Biker Guy. They start harassing Tommy's girlfriend, Jen.
Tommy, do something. One little kiss. Where's the harm in that? Ooh, where's that famous Indian hospitality?
So, obviously, being the upstanding citizen and, respectable boyfriend, you get into a fight with these two assholes because, they can't disrespect your lady. They put up their fists and they're ready, man. They're versed in this treasured martial arts of beer brawling. They're ready to go to town on you, man. Some respectable bar fighting. You take out a goddamn wrench. So yeah, you get taught your basic combat with no tutorial, by the way, and by beating up two paying customers in a bar who are completely unarmed. They were assholes, but I just smacked this guy so hard in the head. Probably forgot the days of the week.
You could have killed them!
Maybe I should.
That's not what I meant!
Also, Jen says they are unconscious, but I'm pretty sure the amount of blood you see on them and the fact their bodies hit the ground harder than the beats in that jukebox means they are 100% dead, and I am not going to argue with Jen because I'm gonna have to hide some bodies. Then, after this, the alien invasion immediately happens, and, honestly, it's kind of not scripted. You could still wander around the bar and stuff, and I didn't know this until a future playthrough where I managed to get the console working. It's scripted, but it doesn't feel that way, because it honestly feels like you can dodge the lights and stuff, and the thing here is that it's 100% scripted, but I 100% think that you can actually delay that beam for a pretty long time until it it has to take you to continue the game. It's genuinely it's just kind of crazy. Okay, I'm obsessing over something stupid. Okay, so after that you Oh
My God.
yeah, you kind of just happen. It kind of transitions. Yeah, this is the definition of 0 to 100 real fucking quick. This is just beautiful, though, in its own way. Look, before I start, look, even for me talking about this in-depthly, like I'm about to, it's kind of, weird.
Grandfather.
It's just, it just shows you how much info you're gonna get out of this game if you just play it. This game has a lot of hidden lore and stuff that, well, explain stuff, but if you don't actively look for it, then it's going to be one big H.P. Lovecraft novel where nothing gets answered, but in a good way. So it's not treating you stupid. The good horror way, where you constantly question if what you're doing is even possible, or if it's even quantifiable and how powerful these things are, or if science even fucking exists. The stuff that really makes you just decide no. So eventually, after this happens, eventually you escape by having some guy,
Hi, how are you?
explode the railway to save you, but not your grandfather or Jen.
Oh no. Jen! God, no!
First thing you'll notice that makes the generic sci-fi stand out is the flesh that is a part of the architecture. It really helps unease the player more, since you can't really relate to anything that's similar to this in a building. To also add insult to injury on what these aliens are like, you also get this little scene of the aliens running on surfaces with different gravity in one room and different directions. After some more combat to get you kind of situated, you get to meet up with Jen and your grandfather again. you get some idea to what they're doing to humans, and it's not very professional. They just freaking murder you, and after you die, they decide that, oh, nah, fam, that ain't enough, so they just murder you some more, and then suck you right off that freaking thing that you were attached to. And then the ultimate Chad gets pulled into the machine, and
I'll try to stop this thing.
Go now. I shall await you in the land of the ancients.
Oh my god, no! No!
I'm not related to the guy, but I think I'm also traumatized now. Look, the sounds and not knowing exactly what happens is what makes this 100 times worse, and I love that. You then make it to the next area, and to point out a difference with the harder difficulty, if you play on Cherokee, you don't get any health pickups at all. Since the thing here you see in the loading screen is supposed to give you a bunch of health, yet it doesn't exist in this playthrough now because of that. Honestly, this doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I signed up for this on top of more damage. So we then get introduced to some of the most iconic things I've ever come across in games, and hate how this is the only game I can think did this perfectly and in such a unique way. So to start off, we have these floors that you stick to them, and you can go up walls and upside down and just any direction it goes in without losing momentum or speed. But if you jump, you aren't stuck to it anymore. In later levels, it becomes so fun to shoot people in weird locations because of these things, and because you are on these things, it's so freaking like fun. After that, we have these games' portals also. Okay, so before anyone thinks or says something about Valve's Portal, which I'm very well aware of, trust me, I am very, very fucking well aware of, this came out a year before that, though. And it was made by a completely separate company, which has nothing to do with it, and couldn't even like talk to the devs if they really fucking wanted to. Look, Portal's awesome. I'm not gonna shit talk it. It's a good puzzle game. But look how seamless and nuts these portals are. And of course, you can shoot through them. Did I mention how nuts these portals look? Oh, but that's not even it, because if you thought the implementation of that was cool, oh my god, you also fucking have this.
Oh my god, he's a giant. Oh shit.
お客様、お子様連れはちょっと。
社会見学の一環だ。多めに見てくれ。
申し訳ございませんが、他のお客様のご迷惑になりますので。
絶対に迷惑はかけない。いいよな。
かしこまりました。
And also get to be on different asteroids, planets, whatever, on their own gravity, and it's just freaking nuts. By the way, this game had multiplayer, so with every like little small like mechanic that I just talked about, think how it is with shooting someone upside down on a whole different set of gravity from you, or just someone popping down like Spider-Man and instead of webbing you in the face, claps you with a fucking buckshot from a shotgun right in your goddamn face before you could even say hi. Obviously, because of how I feel obscure this game is, the multiplayer is dead. And I can't even show you that cool stuff. Like, at all. So, a little further in, you also get to see what they do with other humans. So, yeah, if you don't get murdered, that's fine. Because you'll just get lobotomized and have a bunch of wires stuck inside of you, so you don't have any other need besides to work. Yeah, don't worry. This isn't the worst the game shows by a mile. I'm still treating you like a child to this. Oof. Eventually, the game opens up to show you the area you were abducted to, and
Where in the hell am I?
look, 2006 or not, it's just magnificent and fucking big. The only thing wrong with this is the lack of a larger window to see more of this hollowed out planet. But it was 2006, so, you know, obviously I may give it a pass on certain things, since video games has actually gone pretty far since 2006. So, eventually, after traversing more of the place you're in, yeah, place, because at this point in the game, is it a planet? Is it a ship? You don't know, because you don't know. You don't know because you don't know. Like, what am I supposed to say about this? I'm not gonna be like your parents when you were kids and tell you Santa Claus is real and the Tooth Fairy exists. Like I don't fucking know. And then Tommy dies. No, I didn't die. I didn't die in combat. Tommy died.
It is time to let go of the mortal, Tommy. Time to become a part of the sacred fire. Let go now.
Okay, but in reality, I'm fucking with you. You wake up and see a ghost bird and...
What is this? Where am I?
Talon will guide you.
Talon? It can't be.
So you follow Talon, the little bird, to this little area over here, and...
Silugi.
I saw you die.
Granddad.
Where?
Chad walks into the scene to bless you with knowledge of the ancients. I still haven't made a joke. I'm still very on track with what's going on in this game.
This is the land of your fathers, Tommy. The land of the ancients.
The land of the... All that Cherokee crap, it's a bunch of superstitious bullshit. I don't believe this.
So, Anisi, I think I got it right that time, tells Tommy that if he wants to survive, he has to accept his heritage and stop running away from it. You know, especially since he's pretty much being proven it's, like, real. Like, you know, Ghost Granddad, Ghost Bird, Grand Canyon. I mean, like, you know, I didn't think heaven would just be the Grand Canyon. One thing you should have noticed at this point, hopefully, is Tommy isn't a silent protagonist. He's not like Gordon Freeman, for example, or Doom Guy. He's very vocal, like something akin to Duke Nukem or Lil Wayne.
Came to warn.
Save it, grandfather.
Whoa! That was fucked up. No. This is fucked up.
Except instead of being a stereotype, he's just a guy dealing with stuff. Best way to show that is probably this moment where he questions if his grandfather is sane for trapping him in a room with a literal wall of fire.
What the hell is this? Let me out of here. I've got to get back to Jen.
So Granddad teaches Tommy how to astral project himself and interact in the environment, which is just like so freaking cool. So you then find out the game will have some light puzzle solving involving things like the portals from before, the gravity floors, and the spirit form and other stuff. Everything it uses isn't just for puzzles though. It also uses it for combat. It really gets put seamlessly in a lot of situations that you don't even notice it until like I start pointing it out or anything like that. Oh, and just so the spirit form isn't useless outside of puzzles, let's give the ghost a fucking weapon too that is fueled by the spirits of dead enemies. I want to step back again for another 2 seconds and say I'm playing a game as a Native American mechanic veteran who's trying to find his chick in a super intelligent alien ship, which is 50%-ish, maybe a little bit more, made of flesh, while also becoming an ethereal ghost and murdering said aliens. So after that, you go back to the mortal world and do some of that light puzzle solving and combat with the spirit form and start to get into the groove of how this game is going to be. Since this part doesn't have much going on, I'll kind of talk about the only problem with the game that I have. Look, I fucking love this game, but I can't deny that Tommy moves pretty fucking slow. Now, if you are pretty good at shooters, it's not a problem. And this game is in ID Engine 4, so you can do a little bit of bunny hopping. But when you're traveling on foot at decent distances or trying to outmaneuver enemies, you are slow. It's mostly annoying with high mobility enemies, which are endgame enemies. So by this point, you should at least have a good enough arsenal to deal with them before this becomes a problem. In a sense, it reinforces using your abilities and utility to its utmost potential by balancing all of your utility. Honestly though, if you die, it's not a big deal because you don't actually die anyway. Oh, yeah, I didn't actually explain that yet, did I? So, when you die, at least once, you go to this afterlife scene.
Though your body is broken, Damasi, you are not yet defeated. You must restore your spirit and return to the land of the living. You must battle the dishonored dead.
Oh, darn, that's awesome! That's really awesome!
Is this something you would consider doing?
Yeah!
So when you kill these souls, it refills part of your bars when you come back to life depending on how much you killed. The red ones will fill up health, while blue fills up the spirit gauge. When you get good enough at the game, you will pretty much be topped off with both. On Cherokee, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I died on purpose because of no health pickups. Now, I kinda really liked this afterlife mechanic, since it's a lot more calming than the main game, and it's one way to practice your aim if you're into that. It helps you collect yourself and get focused before getting flung back, and just overall helps break up gameplay. Kind of stupid in a game like this that there isn't any punishment for dying, but honestly, I don't mind that too much with something like this. Also, for some flavor, you can actually see where you died and your corpse if you look in the hole you get sucked into. Too bad this is unique to you, because there is a lot of dead kids. Yep. Let's get started, right?
Oh, this can't be good.
These ghostly abominations were not here before your sudden return, human. Interesting.
So, these scenes, even for 2006, will just stick with you for a lot of playthroughs. I played this, again, when I was 7 or 8, when this was, like, the best graphics. So, I'm kind of desensitized to stuff like this in games. But, specifically Prey, it still pretty screwed me up the first couple of times I played this for footage. But because I know this probably seems tasteless, this scene pretty much shows that the aliens don't discriminate for who they want. Also, apparently this place is also haunted now since Tommy came aboard. Yeah, that one I don't fucking get. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't fucking get that part. After the dead kids, here's Tommy, literally a minute later.
Oh, man. I think I'm gonna be sick.
This is another mechanic. Yes? Another. You shoot those buttons to switch the gravity in the room, and it's just fucking incredible. Yeah. So, eventually you reach this place with some slight puzzles with these new gravity buttons, and... Is that Is that Barracuda?
They ripped up the whole fucking bar!
Yeah, what he said, why the hell did they want the bar? So if you play this game and notice that Tommy is going nuts on these aliens right now, you get a reminder on how little you have seen so far from the aliens by seeing this.
Mayday! Mayday!
So that's where Malaysia Airlines went. Stepping away from talking about the gameplay, let's talk about the lore. Like I said earlier, it doesn't explain much, and I don't want to spoil anything. So there isn't much lore in Prey, but there is enough to satisfy some curiosity while leaving the right questions perfectly unanswered. In the game, once you have the spirit form, you have the alien text actually get translated for you. This takes time though, as it only translates when Talon is near that monitor. I mean, it makes sense because it does look like fucking chicken scratches. Now, I won't spoil anything because despite this game being more than 10 years old, the story is that good. I would be doing a huge disservice to you guys if I just spoiled everything. It has so much meat to it that you can't help but get sucked in. More importantly, if you notice in the footage, if you are a veteran of the game or played it before, you'll also notice that I'm also purposely skipping radio transmissions from Earth about how they are dealing with the situation and how it's being played out with even an alien contacting the radio host. It's actually some crazy stuff and opens up so much for theory and speculation and brings the universe into a realistic and believable scenario with so much you aren't seeing. I mean, Tommy is just one perspective on what's going on, that is. It can perfectly capture some of the spirit of cosmic horror, of this unfathomable horror that gets worse the more you learn of what you can understand.
We were flying over Topeka, and then the lights everywhere. They took us off the plane. It's a big one. It eats
You can get answers to everything if you manage to connect the dots with the little bits of text and stuff that's literally in the game. Prey doesn't treat you like you're stupid. So with everything I just said, why the hell is 2017 Prey called Prey? The original version is called Prey because humanity is being preyed upon by aliens for whatever the reason is. Look, 2017 Prey is absolutely amazing and fun, and is obviously inspired by System Shock 1, and similar to how BioShock was, Prey 2006 was inspired off of System Shock, but it took it in a different direction. Similar like to how 2017 Prey took it as a more direct inspiration. And, you know, it makes it for a really good modern day experience, actually. But reimagining? How can you say that when the original game was being made since 1995? Yeah, the 2006 Prey, it's short, you know, but it was a huge passion project from the 90s. Look, the game was worked on right after 3D Realms Rise of the Triad. So they were pretty hot when they were starting development of this. 2006 Prey is a project with not just passion, but a remnant of the old 3D Realms and the amazing characters, games they made, going back to Duke Nukem 3D, Blood, Shadow Warrior, and Rise of the Triad. Prey 2006 was the last thing 3D Realms made before they started going downhill and eventually get absorbed by Bethesda. The game, even if you don't remember it, has the infamous Prey 2 trailer, and all this stuff before it got cancelled, and ironically, has Bethesda's fucking name on it.
Wait a minute, how did this happen? We're smarter than this.
It wasn't until years later the name pops up again with a game that doesn't keep or reuse anything the original did. The fact the 2017 version just says nothing about this is what hurts the most. If it was called anything else, or just set in the same universe at a different time or something, I wouldn't mind, but straight up deleting 2006 Prey is just stupid. Bethesda has access and even probably some remnants of the soul of this game, and they didn't even try.
She can't do that! Shoot her or something!
I mean, maybe they did, but what the fuck was Prey 2? I didn't need Prey 2 if it was going to be reimagined and made into a longer experience with new multiplayer. Even if they didn't use anything from the first game already set up for an expansive universe.
The portal we built worked, but not the way we expected. I was rescued by powerful beings. They've taken notice of you and have sent me to find you.
What are you talking about? No one knows what I did up there.
Not on this world, no, but your actions are well known elsewhere. These beings are very anxious to meet the great Domasi Taudi. Let me introduce you. Come.
Hey, just wanted to say thank you for watching the long video. It was a huge project to make and a big step for me personally. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys again.